Let me properly introduce you to Chuck, aka Chuck Norris. Chuck is part of the notorious mob family, the Fugazi family. He's a maid shrimp, and he's known for having an extremely bad temper that normally results in him smashing shit to pieces. You might be asking yourself, why is he here? So let's recap and make sure you understand the full story. Now, Frankie the boss, the head of the mob family, hired Jimmy the clown to take care of some business with Moby and his crew. Things didn't go as planned, as Moby and his boys forced Jimmy to flee for his life as they were planning to whack him. This did not sit well with Frankie the boss, which, by the way, no one has ever seen before. Weeks passed by since Jimmy left, and well, everything seemed to be getting back to normal. Moby was on an eating spree again with all his new friends. And the crew, well, they started to come out of their hiding spots. Life was looking really good until a new tank was being built right across the street. I know, you know, this had to be Frankie the boss's doing. He's up to something. How did this tank get here? Well, I work for Frankie the boss, and I was given strict orders to build another tank right next to Moby's. The request was super detailed. I had to get a 10-gallon tank, no bigger, no smaller, attach a filter to the back to help Chuck with oxygen and clean water, then put live sand. Yeah, that's right, live sand. Supposedly it has beneficial bacteria and organisms. This helps aid with dissolving waste and ammonia. Looks like Frankie is sparing no expense when it comes to this build. Then he wanted me to put some rocks to give Chuck some hiding spots, and last but not least, salt water. Yeah, that's right, this is a saltwater tank, because Frankie said saltwater is good for your skin, and wants to pamper Chuck as much as possible. After about a couple of weeks of setting everything up, it was time to get Chuck Norris. Now, as you can tell, everybody over here is being very, very careful handling Chuck, and for a very good reason. At any time, if Chuck gets upset, he'll punch a hole right through this bag. And let me tell you, if that happens, all hell will break loose. But luckily, Chuck wasn't in a bad mood today, and everything went okay. After about an hour drive, it was time to show Chuck his new home. Now, as you can tell, I'm literally shitting my pants right now. Because if Chuck decides to punch me, he can put a hole right through my hand. Scary fact about Chuck Norris, but his punch is the equivalent of a .22 caliber bullet, able to crush bone, and if you really wanted to, smash this glass. So, as carefully as I could, I cut the bag open, and then I ran away. Chuck looks like he's settled in right now, and things, well, are calm between the two tanks. But I have a feeling shit is about to go down, and when it does, all hell will break loose.